What is happening in Colorado? A police officer is being investigated for an insane Facebook comment. This Colorado state representative claims that she is Antifa. Speaking of Antifa, some Antifa dude posted threats to Representative Nancy Mace, and they have arrested this man. You are also going to hear from a mom speaking out about her 22-year-old daughter who was the victim of a hit and run in Parker, Colorado, and now she is disabled for life. So we have a lot to get into. Make sure you're subscribed. Let's start with this police officer replying to the comment, "Good way to get a couple holes in their chest," referring to ICE agents. She says they wear armor, so headshots would work better. So Libs of TikTok, who exposes all of these people, filed a complaint, and they said, "Thank you for your email. The Erie Police Department opened an internal administration investigation on January 25th. Is this their way of prolonging things until people forget about it? How much do you actually have to investigate on this? If the account is hers, you can figure that out in 2 seconds and fire this person. This is a woman who has dedicated her life to protecting the public, and she is posting things encouraging people to be violent against ICE agents. So we have more posts like this from Libs of TikTok. Great page. You guys got to follow them. Hi, nursing board. Did you see this? So it's pretty scary to know that the people who are supposed to dedicate their lives to making sure all people are healthy and will survive, instead, they post things like this. I think the ones who put Alex in harm's way were ICE. Also, those agents better pray they never end up in a hospital. The nurses won't be kind. This is a great way to lose your job and lose your license. It's amazing that this is getting a lot of views and that they're finding out where they work and that these people get fired. Like this woman, you guys remember her encouraging people to inject ICE agents with poison, which is attempted murder. I mean, these are crimes. So they have an update from her place of work that says, following an investigation, the individual involved in the social media videos is no longer employed by VCU Health. In addition, they have fulfilled its reporting requirements under Virginia state law. So my question is will she ever be able to get a job at McDonald's after this? In my honest opinion, the only job that this woman should be able to have after this is working for the Salvation Army because she is a convicted criminal, or doing some type of volunteer work in scrubbing the sidewalks on her hands and knees outside. That's the only job that this woman should have from here on out. So another person was fired. You guys remember that nurse who was wishing that Caroline Levitt would suffer bad tears after her because she's pregnant. So now we have Attorney General James posting, effective today, Lexi is no longer allowed to practice nursing in Florida. Can we make this countrywide? I don't want this lady delivering my children, making statements that wish pain and suffering on anyone when those statements are directly related to one's practice is an ethical red line we should not cross. People in our country are being targeted because they have flags outside of their house, because they wear patriotic gear, don't wear a MAGA hat to the dental office or the library, or just, I mean, that's the way they want to make it. They want people to be terrorized and think that they're not going to receive good service, that they cannot participate in America if they support Donald Trump. So you guys remember this Colorado state senator who urged people to call the Colorado hotline when you see a raid happening. So I did do that, and I just want to share with you guys what happened when they answered the phone. At first, it actually went to voicemail. It said that the line was busy, and I was surprised that they actually answered.
What area are you calling about?
I'm in Aurora.
Okay. Are you near the Mercado on Walnut and there's an incident there, I think. There's a see if I can look it up real fast. Near Walnut and like 11505 East Colfax area.
I mean, I should have just said yes.
But Molina. Okay. Yeah, there was a report of some unmarked vehicles near Mercado there, so we're sending confirmers there right now.
Okay, good. Because I didn't know if I should just stay put or if I should like go out. This hasn't happened. Like I've never witnessed it before, so I don't know what to do. So this guy, he asked me if I was a trained confirmer. He said that they already have confirmers on the site. Mind you, I just told him what city I was in. Aurora is massive, and just based off of that, they already have information as to where the raids are happening. These networks are so big and kind of terrifying. They have trainings for them. They're training terrorists. They're training people to revolt against the government. This is really scary stuff, guys. It's not a joke. So Libs of TikTok also points out a professor at Houston City College. His response to Charlie being killed was to call him scum. Why is this man a professor? Why is he influencing the young minds and future of America? Meet Megan, a middle school counselor in Minneapolis who's managing an anti-ICE signal chat. It's always the crazy eyes, right, guys? Let's see, what does she say here? Please fill out the attached forms. We're vetting members. I mean, these people should be in jail, not in our schools. What these signal chat groups are doing is doxing ICE agents, stalking them, and impeding federal operations. They should be spending 20 years, I think it's 20 max years, in jail. So another person from a school, Janice, superintendent for Lawrence Public Schools in Kansas, sent out a letter to staff informing them that the district will not cooperate with ICE. Seriously. So you're going to use your school as a place to harbor these illegal aliens. So if ICE shows up, you're going to tell them that they're not allowed in. And so you are telling the public that your school is a place where illegals can go to, where kids are. And these are unvetted people. We have no idea what their record is, but you're making your school a safe place for them to be. That is terrifying. California supervisor Luis is now printing out no ICE access posters. How is this allowed? I mean, walk the streets of Minneapolis and you will see so many ICE is not welcome here posters. Since when are we allowed to explicitly deny people any service, all services for that matter? They're denying ICE agents housing, food from restaurants, and they're also trying to do that to conservatives too. And these liberals are pushing these businesses to do so because they don't want fair elections. They want to scare you into becoming a Democrat. People are so fed up with these terrorists. So he posts free no ICE access business place cards for doors and windows in Spanish and in English. This is discrimination. But yet, when a baker who is Christian doesn't want to make somebody's LGBTQ wedding cake, then the news blows up and they try to put those people in jail or give them lawsuits for discrimination. It's really awesome that Nicki Minaj is taking it mainstream to be a Trump supporter.
Hello, guys. I'm with my favorite president, the best president of all time.
That's right.
And I'm with the queen of rap.
I mean, it's just so epic. I mean, Donald Trump is such a success. He truly is the greatest president of our country. And he is helping get rid of people that commit crimes like this, like hit and runs, for example. And also, another reason why the deportations are crucial to our country is because these people are voting. We're not able to have fair elections. You guys saw what happened to Venezuela. They were one of the richest nations. And they lost everything because communists got into power and they couldn't have free and fair elections. And so Maduro was a dictator for years that made everybody's lives horrible. And the only people who made money were the politicians, fraudsters. Think about the people in Minneapolis, all those fraudsters. This is something that needs to be put to an end. These people need to be deported because they always are voting blue and because they commit crimes. Get rid of every single one of them.
My name is Patty Fox, and I live in Parker, Colorado. On March 28th, 2025, my daughter Chris's life and mine changed forever. My 22-year-old daughter was riding on the back of a motorcycle with a friend when Valeria Bermudez Marcano blew through a stop sign, cut across multiple lanes, and hit them, launching my daughter headfirst into the concrete barrier at Parker and 225.
This should have never happened. That woman should have never been here in the first place. But Joe Biden welcomed her in. And then once she was here, she should have already been deported. This could have been avoided. And more things like this can be avoided, but they might not be because these crazy people are rioting in the streets. And so I guess, are they pulling back on the deportations? Now they're saying things like we're only going to be deporting the worst of the worst. They are the worst of the worst. If you came into the country illegally, you're the worst. You are the worst. You suck. If you came into the country illegally, you suck. And you don't belong here. You don't deserve to be here, period.
Instead of staying to help, to even check if my daughter was still alive, as any decent human being would do, Valeria fled the scene. She did not stay. She did not call 911. She did not check whether my daughter was still breathing. Passengers Luis Bello Rodriguez and Stephanie Carolina Marcano ran from the scene with her.
That is the worst of the worst. What people do not understand is the tens of millions of people that entered into the country from the Biden administration have a completely different mindset. Go to these countries and you will learn that it is normal to just drive in between lanes or to run stop lights and to not follow any of the rules, to run businesses without ever registering them. It's a different mindset in the way that they don't hold doors for each other or let you pass when you turn on your blinker. There are major cultural differences that border wall protects.
They ran, leaving my daughter unconscious, bleeding, and alone in the roadway like
Disgusting.
cowards. Early
Disgusting.
predictions were that she would not make it. She suffered an open fracture of her femur, fractured arm, extensive facial fractures, and a traumatic brain injury so severe that her prognosis was grim. Our beautiful daughter's face was unrecognizable. Slowly, we spent the next few days getting more information about the driver. Valeria Bermudez Marcano was an unlicensed and uninsured Venezuelan immigrant. She was released on a $500 bond 2 days later.
Wow.
Lisa loved people.
She was released. So you're telling me that in Parker, Colorado, that woman is driving around, still not understanding what a stop sign means?
Believed deeply in helping others, including those who came from other countries. But on that night, Valeria repaid my daughter's kindness by leaving her in the road to die. So now, I have no choice but to pick up this mantle, because no parent should go through what I have. And sadly, I know I'm not the only one. We shouldn't have to wait until tragedy strikes to remove someone that is willing to break our laws and put American families at risk.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Chris is living with those consequences every day. She is fed through a G-tube, a surgically placed feeding tube in her stomach, because she can no longer eat on her own. We use a Hoyer lift, essentially a crane, to move her in and out of bed because she cannot sit, stand, or support her own weight. She has a tracheostomy that helps her breathe. She is wheelchair bound. She is nonverbal.
This is so tragic. Can you guys imagine? You're just driving and then you wake up in a hospital. You can't move your body. You don't understand what's going on. That's horrible.
She is minimally conscious. She doesn't smile. She doesn't laugh. She cannot tell me when she's in pain. She cannot say, "Mom, I'm scared." And she cannot say, "I love you." But she does know when she's around people who love her. That I can see. The only thing that gets me through every day is the knowledge that God has the final say. I cling to his promises and pray without ceasing that he would heal and restore her to us. Carissa deserved better. Our family deserved better. Families in this country deserve better. We have to demand better of our politicians, to not let greed and selfish ambition get in the way of protecting American families.
They do all of this. They allow Americans to suffer so that they can steal elections. I've always wondered, but what do they get from just having drugs in our cities? What do they get from just having all of these illegal criminals? They are destabilizing our government. They are making it so we, the American people, cannot vote correctly, that we cannot get rid of these Democrats in office that allow things like this to happen. And who protests in the streets for them? These people will drool over Alex Preddy, a guy who was violent, vicious, intimidating, threatening, just a bad person. George Floyd, who was a criminal, who had a criminal record, was resisting arrest, as was Alex Preddy. He brought a gun there. Renee Good. They honored the worst people in the world. But then you have Americans who are just going to work, wonderful people, hopeful for life. They have a good head on their shoulders. They're good people. They were raised right. And then they become victims of crimes committed by illegal aliens, and they don't care. They literally could care less about good people. It's so backwards. And then the Colorado governor, Jared Polis, where is he? You're the governor of Colorado. And I hate to say that he should be paying attention because this is such a big story. But I mean, how can you ignore this? It's a tragedy. And on top of that, it's becoming national news. And he has nothing to say about it. That's right. Your silence is deafening. It feels like Republicans are so passive. We see real life tragedies like with Carissa. And what do we do? What are we doing about it? Midterms are coming up, and it is up to every single person in this country to make sure that people are informed locally and making good voting decisions. Because if we do not have a majority in the House of Representatives, then it's likely that they are going to try to impeach Trump and keep the people here that do things like this. My fantasy is to see planes like this going out of the country. If this is the way that people came into the country, or they hopped a border, then that's the way they should be sent back. Fill up these planes. Fill them up. I am tired of people saying, oh, the handcuffs are too tight, or that we should pay them to leave the country. I mean, yes, reward them, make incentives for them to leave. But why are we being so light on these people? They don't respect our people, our customs, our values, one tiny bit. They hate us. There's too many people in this country that hate America. And then those groups are using the people on the left to rise up as well and to gain political power. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see deportation planes like this. In my opinion, that is what we were promised.